Lawsuit stems from alleged inappropriate conduct that was first exposed by our 7 Action News investigator.
Investigator Ross Jones broke this story and has new details tonight on one local mother's concerns.
Indeed, Stephen, Carolyn, that mother that is planning a lawsuit says she's worried about more than $500 in cash and gifts that she learned Charles Pugh had given to her 18-year-old son. Now, Pugh was set to explain his side of events yesterday in an interview until he abruptly canceled. Since taking office in 2010, City Council President Charles Pugh has often been ready with a comment, never backing away from controversy or a microphone.
We're in a cash crisis, but we're also in a fiscal crisis.
But he has all but fallen off the map since questions were raised about gifts and cash he gave to an 18-year-old high school student that he mentors.
I believe you told me a fib, that you did not be honest with me when I talked to you yesterday.
This is the mother whose son was the recipient of Pugh's money and gifts. Her son met Pugh at his leadership forum run out of Douglas Academy, an all-male Detroit high school. The same day we met her for our interview, Pugh made a slew of calls to her cell phone, which she answered on speakerphone.
You didn't tell me any of these things. Nothing.
The mother, whose name we are withholding, says Pugh gave her son about $250 in cash, some to pay for a hotel for his high school prom night. He also gave her son a cell phone that she says she didn't want him to have, costing $150 plus activation fees. And he bought him more than $100 in dress clothes that he said were for a job interview. The problem, says the mother, is that the gifts and cash were given to her son behind her back.
The problem went when you started giving him money. Then the other problem went when you started meeting him off school property. Then the other problem was you took him off school property and you purchased some of these things off school property.
The mother says she's concerned that Pugh's gifts may lead or have already led to other inappropriate conduct, but there is no evidence that it ever has, and Pugh and the young boy deny there ever was. Pugh says he was only trying to help, but said he would end his mentoring program if the mother agreed not to talk to reporters. Around the same time Pugh learned we had interviewed the young boy's mother, he deleted his Facebook and Twitter accounts, where he's normally very active. Last week, Pugh agreed to be interviewed about the money and presents, but hours before our interview was scheduled yesterday, he abruptly canceled, saying he was starting a medical leave. He issued this 3-page statement saying that his leadership forum is a perfect way to encourage community service and get directly involved in positively impacting the city and our youth. He said gifts and cash are part of his mentorship program. He often reaches into his own pocket to reward students for good grades, performing well in mock interviews, and being well dressed. He said he's given students prizes like a $300 Kenneth Cole briefcase, Ray-Ban sunglasses, neckties, bow ties, and tickets to Pistons games. Douglas Academy's assistant principal said today by phone that she is proud of the program and that it teaches young men how to become leaders. She would not say if the program will continue. Now, Detroit Public Schools confirms that earlier this month that mother contacted the district over concerns she had about Pugh and those gifts. Later on, the district says she told officials that she preferred to handle this matter personally. DPS says they've reached out to her in writing to better understand her concerns. The district says it will thoroughly review the program as it would whenever a parent voices a concern. And with all of this unfolding tonight, there is still no word from Charles Pugh.
Well, a lot of people certainly want to hear from him, so hopefully he will surface soon. Thank you so much, Ross, for your investigation.